mindsetters? Welcome to it. Yes, it's a Wednesday and you're hanging out with these people. Looney and Lou. Lou, how are you?
All right, and yourself?
I'm good, thank you. What are we doing for the mindsetters today?
Ecology and history of life on Earth.
All right, so grade 10s, I hope you guys are ready to learn more and learn extra with the 2 L's. Just a reminder, guys, you see this beautiful, this awesome. I always give it a silent moment because it's just so awesome. We are having the Learn Extra Exam Revision Marathon competition. If you don't know by now, where have your friends been? Where's everyone been? Like, you should be knowing we have been having this competition for the past couple of weeks, guys. Samsung and Mindset have partnered to bring you the competition. So all you need to do to enter the competition is download the show notes. I always take it step by step. Download the show notes. Right at the bottom of the last page, there is a race number. What do you do with that race number? www.mindset.co.za/learn/win. That is the entry form. You fill it in with your race number, and then you are entered into the lucky draw. We have lucky draws very randomly during our live shows, so make sure, guys, you do check out all our live shows to see if you're a winner. But remember, guys, if you do have a Samsung Premium smartphone or a Samsung tablet, you can download the Learning Hub to access all our exam revision content. I've been talking. So remember, guys, exam revision content on the Learning Hub is available from Mindset. So if you do have premium smartphone from Samsung or Samsung tablet, just get yourself the Learning Hub. How you get a hold of us? Facebook.com/LearnExtra, on Twitter @LearnExtra. You can download the show notes, the videos, the schedules, and everything else on mindset.co.za/learn/extra/revision. We are now about to start the lesson with Lou.
You've got to be kidding me. That was like an essay.
I know.
Hey? I'm surprised you can still talk.
Yeah, no, I have to just,
And all the forward slashes?
Yeah, no, it's all in my head by now.
Oh, that's why I say she's clever. Well, let's see what she's good at today.
No, please. No.
I don't think it's too bad. Now, first of all, I'm so glad to see you. I know I missed you last week, but you've got to understand about the grade 12. But I promise you, this is especially for you guys. Right? So, how cool is that? Now, we're going to begin. Okay, we're going to look at ecology and the history of life on Earth. Now, history on life on Earth is actually quite cool because you're having a look at, for example, dinosaurs. I mean, can you imagine that? We're looking at fossils. That's the coolest thing out. Okay, so let's have a look at it. And trust me when I say I'm going to give Looney big words to say, hopefully. Right, so if we have a look at it, let's go to the first question, okay? Which I remember to grab pens, there it is, okay? We're going to have a look at these questions that come out of an exemplar of 2012, right? First one, give the correct biological term. Now, boys and girls, simply, a biological term is not, let's see if I can give you one. You see, you can't just put it offhand, but you can't just say, come on, give me something, Looney. Help me out here.
What are you talking about?
A biological term, you can't give me one.
For what?
I'll think about one and I can explain it to you. Okay, because it's offhand, it's very difficult. But let's go for it. Okay, for the following descriptions, write down only the term next to the question's number. So if you don't just write the term down, then there's a problem. Okay, so the first one. Plants that have been adapted to live in dry habitats. Now, you get a couple of plants. Can you remember them, right? You get a hydrophyte, you get a xerophyte, you get a aerophyte, which just grow in air. Those are quite cool, right? So I will try and bring one in because I didn't even think about it this morning, right? And then lastly, you get another one. And that one I want to ask you another question. So this one is dry conditions. And the second one, I want you to try and send me on Twitter and Facebook, okay?
Yes,
Give it to me. Let's see what you've got. Okay, this one is very simple. It's a xerophyte, okay? That means it lives in the desert areas. Remember, what it does is it changes its leaves and makes it into thorns, for instance, and it stores all the water in its stems. Right, like a prickly pear. Okay, that's the first one. Next one. Let's go. A group of food chains, so it's a lot of food chains, group of food chains that arrange to, they join each other, in other words. Okay, I'm trying to get the question so it's nice and easy. They join each other and they coexist and they connect into each other. Now, hold on. What is a food chain? The problem with a food chain is. I've seen somebody think a food chain is breakfast, lunch, and supper. Hey, can you believe that?
No.
Breakfast, lunch, and supper. That is not a food chain. A food chain is very simple, right? It starts with a autotroph, right? No, starts with a heterotroph, then goes to an autotroph, and so on. So we'll start with, for example, grass, and then we've got the springbuck, and then we've got the cheetah, right? And they eat each other. That's how it works. Now, what happens is the ones that interlink with each other, in other words, the springbuck will eat the grass and the leaves, right? It's two herbivore. It is a herbivore that eats two heterotrophic things, right? Or autotrophic, sorry. Okay? And that's how it works. They interlink with each other. And then not just the cheetah is going to eat the springbuck, so is a lion. So what is that called? It's called a food web. They interact with each other and they're together. Right. Now, next one. A variety of living organisms on Earth. Now, let's think about certain words. We've got ecology. We've got a population, right? Now, could it be that? Now, I could say to you, a population of elephants. Here's a nice one. The population of humans. Now, there's a bit of a problem with that. Because we're going to say a population in Africa, or the population in Cape Town, the population in Durban, right? And that part there is a population. What they want to know is the variety of living organisms. So in other words, we're talking about insects, we're talking about birds, we are talking about flowers, we're talking about humans, we're talking about all these other different things. Now, what is a word that explains everything? Okay, South Africa is very good for it. Okay, it's one of the top ones, and that's why we get people coming to look at it. Can you tell me what it is, Looney? We one of the top people. Well, we're one of the top lands that's got it. We've got a vast one of it. I'm trying to see if you know what it is. You don't? That's all right. We'll get on board just now. Okay, it's very simple. It is biodiversity. We have the biggest. Am I right?
Yes.
You understand that now, of
Yes.
course. It means that we've got a big variety of things. We've got different types of different plants all over, and it's so nice, all different types of animals. That's what biodiversity is. It's a group all together, and we're getting somewhere. Right. Now, the next one is also quite cool. Okay, the representation. They love using these big words, don't they? Right. The representation of a time scale that shows history of life on Earth. Now, wow. Right, what's the first thing that comes to mind in your eyes? Now, look at this. Time scale, right, shows the history of life. Now, in my eyes, right, Looney's eyes, I know she's thinking like this, so she better be looking at the board. Right, now, Looney, if I have a look at a time scale for the history of your life, what would you call that? Simple.
Time scale.
Yeah, like it normally looks like something. And you've got your great-grandmother at the bottom, or your
your family tree.
See, family tree, that's exactly what I was thinking. The problem is it's not a family tree.
Oh.
Okay? A family tree is just on you, or just on me, or just on Looney, right? I'd like to see Looney's one. It's going to be beautiful, right? But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the Earth, okay? Geography, in other words. Okay, and when it comes to that, we are looking at a geographical timeline. Okay, it's a geographical timeline, which is a big word to say the history of how the Earth works. In other words, we had the dinosaurs, and then we went to the next step, which is like the cavemen, and then you became the Neanderthals, and then you became me, and then you became important like you, right? Don't laugh, Looney. We're trying to think I'm a Neanderthal.
Never.
Oh, they were stunning. They looked after their ladies. They didn't bump them over their heads. They were very special to their girls. Right. Like I am very special to my girls. Right. Yeah. The death of all individuals of a species in the world. Now, you need to know your definitions. A species. Okay? You need to know what a species is. Okay? For example, the dodo. Hey, you know what the dodo is?
Yes.
Yeah, that comes from
that
Mauritius.
bird.
It's a?
That bird.
It's a bird that we killed, right?
Yes.
Well, I went to Mauritius and we found it out there, and they said it was the Portuguese that came through there. And these birds, why they called them the dodos, is they were not clever upstairs. They were very inquisitive. So they would run up to the person to come see what he is. And of course, you hungry? Chicken on the spit. You know what I'm trying to say, hey? Nice chicken on the braai. So they became extinct. They got eaten up too quickly. And that is the answer. It's a species, right? It's a specific thing. Like in South Africa or Africa, we had the quagga. Okay? And it's not a mixture between a zebra and a horse. It's a complete, its own species. Right? And that word, of course, as I said, was extinction. Okay? Which is very, very nice. Now, if I go to the next one. Question 2. We got it out of the same, well, it is the same exemplar, right, in 2012. We always look at this because this is the type of questions they're going to ask. They look at this. Trust me, some teachers, they really do go through exemplars and give you questions out of them. So go through your exemplars, very important. Right, now, it says here the diagram below represents a food chain. We've spoken about a food chain, right? Represents a food chain in the garden. In the garden. Okay, so you can actually go and have a look if you can find this. Okay, these are nice things. So, what I've got here, okay, is I've got a rose, something I love giving to women. Cool. And then you get a green fly. Strange. Then you get a ladybug, right? And then you get the blackbird. Plain and simple. The blackbird. Okay, now that there, if it's a food chain in the garden, we know, just by saying food chain, we know that the fly eats the rose, the ladybird eats the fly, and the blackbird eats the ladybird. Right, so it's simple. So if we have a look at it, let's go. First question. Name the organism, so you've got to name the organism above that represents the following. Okay, so we've got to look at it. Firstly, a herbivore. We've got to look at a herbivore, something that eats herbs. Herbs, hey?
Yeah.
Plants. Herbs, plants. Okay? Looks at plants. So let's go back. Plain and simple. Is that a plant? No, it's an animal or an insect. Okay? It's an animalia. There we go. Right? Then we've got a rose. Rose is a plant. Have you ever seen a rose jump up out of the ground and run? Have you?
Never.
I mean, if you think about it, a rose pulls out its roots. There's a nice girl and runs over. Not going to happen. Right? Rose sticks in the ground, it is a plant. Okay, so a herbivore would be that. It eats, what's it? Above that represents the following. Herbivore means an animal that eats plants. If that is the plant, what is the animal that eats a plant? It's the green flower. There we go, a green flower. Next one, a producer. Now, we're not talking about pick and pay either. We're talking about something that makes energy. And without them, we, as in humans, and every single animal, cannot survive. Right? And boys, just for the record, helps us get out of trouble sometimes. Am I right, Looney? Look at that smile. Now and then, if it's not too bad, hey?
Yeah.
If it's bad, don't even think about it. But this thing here, this one, very important. Okay? It brings in, first of all, oxygen, and it gives us energy. Even though you don't think it, or even if you don't eat it, it brings energy. Okay, so what is it? Plain and simple, it's the rose. Nice and easy. Right, okay. Next one. A rose bush contains 1,000 kilojoules, 1,000 kilojoules per meter squared per year of energy. Okay, so it works on energy. Write these down quickly. I want you to write this down. Okay, so it works out of an energy. Next thing, and only 10% of this energy is passed onto each trophic level. Okay, so every time the energy moves from one to the next, to the next, to the next, what happens is they only gain 10% in the food chain, right? So how much energy will be passed onto the blackbird? And here's the big thing, show all working out. Right, now, let's have a look. Starts off here, very easy. This one only gains 10%. This one only gains 10%. This one only gains 10%. This one had 1,000, it was 1,000, let me make sure. It was 1,000 kilojoules. So they want to know 10%. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I think, I want you to try and work this out, okay? And we're going to go to a break, okay? But during that break, while you're stretching, I want you to take out your calculators and I want you to try this. Show all working out, okay? And then, once you've got it, I'm going to show you how to do it. You don't have to reply, but make sure that it looks right and you can see if you've done it right. Okay, lastly, I'm still looking for a specific word of plants that are not hydrophytes, it's not xerophytes, and it's not aerophytes. Luni?
Yes.
Make sure that they're, well, hopefully you send it to Luni and I'll get it from her.
Okay,
Right.
cool. Mindset is, let's take a break. Quick shout out to Tumelo Apiwe and Shamila. I think she might have your answer actually, but we'll check it out straight after this.
That's a
so
nice
we'll
name.
see you soon. Welcome back. You see you. Anyways, welcome back, my sisters, from that break. I'm so sorry. You see, sometimes when Llewellyn and I are in studio, things get a bit
Hot.
crazy. But then, Shamila Tupa, well done. Got the question right. It is mesophytes, the fourth.
The fourth
Environment.
one. That's it. Very nice.
Yes.
Now, we went to an ad break, and I took 4 steps towards Looney, and then it was a stunning lady. Hey, what was her name?
Which one now?
The one that said 1.
Oh, that's Sianda.
Sianda. Wow.
Yes.
How quick are you? That was brilliant.
Awesome.
Absolutely right. That was very nice. Now, the thing is, I need to show the rest. Let's see if they got it right. Okay, now, first of all, it's 10% all the time. Okay, now, the problem is it's not each one of them gets 10% of 1,000. Okay, this is how energy flows. Okay, always remember it's in a triangle form. Okay, so there's 4, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this one is going to get a lot of energy. It's going to give a little bit of energy, going to give a little bit of energy, going to give a little bit of energy. So the one on the top is going to get the least amount of energy compared to the first one. Okay, so let's have a look. That one has 10,000, right? 10,000 kilojoules of energy per meter squared per year. Okay, and it's a good thing to understand if they don't have a meter square of roses, they're not going to make as much energy. If you have big fields of it, it's also not going to be. It's going to be more than that, right? But it also depends on how many animals are going to be there to eat it. Okay, so let's have a look at it. I'm going to do it here on the top. If it's 10,000, 10% of 10,000 is very simple. It's 100, right? 100. 10% of 100 is 10. And the last one, 10% of 10 is 1. Now, that's just maths. And it's very simple. So this one only got 1% of the 1,000. The whole amount, 1% of it. Okay? It's a lot of energy used. Now, how does that happen? Let me just tell you something. The plant grabs 10,000 joules of energy, right? Or 1,000 joules of energy. It still has to use the energy to do its normal job. So it's only got a certain amount to give off. Then this little bug comes along and grabs that energy, right? It only gains 100 joules of energy. But it's got to fly, and it's got to eat, and it's got to go through cellular respiration. So it uses energy. If it uses energy, it's only going to give, when the ladybug eats it, it's only got 10% of the original energy that it's got. So it only gives off 10%. The ladybug is flying around doing its thing, hunting, right? And it goes to the bird, and of course, what happens with a bird? It comes along, he's flying, grabs the ladybug, only gets 10% of what the ladybug had, which is 1% of the original amount. So let's see how the sum works. Okay, all the way down, come on. There we go. There we go. Let's have a look. Firstly, you will say 1,000 joules per meter squared per year, okay, times, you'll have 10 divided by 100, okay, which will give you 100 kilojoules of energy. Now, have a look. Have a good look. We've put the ticks in for a reason. You're going to get 10 divided by 100, or you can say, how do you work out 10%? What is 10%? Send me how else you think you could work it out. Next one. Once I've got, it's 10% is 10 out of 100. That's how we work it out. Now, next one, you get a mark, of course, the same thing. You will get a mark for 100 kilojoules. Well, 10 divided by 100, 10% again, would give you 10 kilojoules. There's your next mark. Then, of course, 10 divided by 100, okay, will give you 1. That's how we work it out. So there we go. We know that the blackbird is going to get 1 kilojoule, there we go, 1 kilojoule per meter squared per year. Now think about it very carefully. Got 1 rose, right? 1 rose can feed 10 bugs, right? This thing has got to eat a lot more bugs. This one has to eat a lot of those, and the bird has got to eat a lot of those to get, if it only gets 1% of energy, it needs to have a lot more. It's got to eat a hell of a lot more to get the energy. You understand? So it eats a lot of food. So the bigger you get, the more food you eat. That's why an elephant is just wow. Hey? What
It's
do you
just
think,
wow.
Julie? An elephant is, ooh, it eats tons. Must be. I'm so glad I don't own an elephant in my backyard. You know how much money I'd spend on food? I've already got 2 kids. They've cleaned me out already.
Before you carry on, Apira
Yes.
is asking you to ask them another question.
I need to give them another question.
Yes, you see, they like to be challenged.
Good, I'm glad. Okay. Let me see. If all the green flowers in the gardens were removed, explain, well, here we go, removed. Explain what would happen to the population of the following: the roses, the ladybirds, and the blackbirds. There's the question. Now, this is how I'm going to do it, so listen very carefully. The question was, if I took out the green flowers, what would happen to the rose plants, the ladybirds, and the blackbirds? Okay, so I'm going to give you that answer. The question I want to ask you, okay, what happens if I introduce, what would happen if I introduced a worm, so a normal worm that eats rose leaves? So if I introduce another worm into this whole equation, I enter a worm, so right on the top, where is it? Over here, I've got that one and I've got a worm. And they both do that. Okay, now I want to know what would happen to the roses, what would happen to the green flowers, what would happen to the ladybirds, and what would happen to the blackbird. Okay, let's see if you can do that. Let's carry on with the other one. And don't be shy, send it, that's why I'm here. Next one, what would happen to the roses? If they took the green flower away, they're taking the thing that's eating the roses away. What is going to happen to the roses? Now understand, a lot of farmers that deal with roses try and do this, am I right? Why do you think they would do this, Looney?
Do what now?
Why do they take the thing that eats the roses away? Why do they want to get rid of they call it a pest.
Pest.
Why do they want to get rid of it?
Because, yeah, so that there's more roses. And
Very nice. There's going to be an increase, right? An increase of roses, which means they're not going to be eaten. You see how it's common knowledge? And they're going to be beautiful. Am I right?
Of course.
Just like Looney.
No.
Beautiful. Okay? What is going to happen to the ladybugs? Oh, now we have a problem. What did the ladybugs eat? The ladybugs used to come along, swoop this green thing up, this green flower, and have lunch and supper and breakfast. But now there's none of those. So what do you think is going to happen to the flower? Okay? It's going to decrease. It's going to go one-way ticket down to the ground, hit the floor, go straight underneath to the core. Yeah, you know what I mean? All the way down. But would it become extinct? That's a question. There's another question. Will it become extinct? Then, next one. What would happen to the blackbird? Now, I would say exactly the same. It would decrease. But it will not become extinct. Why? That's the question. Any answers for me yet?
Kensani Mitchell says it will be a food web.
Okay, it'll be a food web. Very nice. That would become a food web. Slightly, because remember that something might happen here. This I don't think the ladybird's going to eat this, right? That's not going to happen. What is going to happen is this is going to be eaten by a different type of bird, right? Bird, and then this will be eaten by, let's say, a fox. So that's what would happen. But now, watch this carefully. Can I give the answer? Do you think I should give the answer?
Yes, because there's no more response.
No more response. Okay, watch that carefully. Okay, if this happens, in the beginning, there was that amount of roses. Okay, now, if that amount of roses got eaten by the green fly, and then by the ladybird, and then by the blackbird, if I introduce a worm, that worm is also going to need food. So there's not going to be as much food as it used to be. So now they're going to have to share this rose. And if they share the rose, it means there's only enough food for a certain amount of green flies and a certain amount of worms. So the rest, if there was 100 here, 100 of them, they might go down to 50. Okay? So they would become 50. These guys would also be 50. Okay? Then your ladybugs, they were 10 of them. Okay? There were 10, now there can only be 5. Do you understand? Now there can only be 5, and this one would also be about 5. And then the bird, you would have 2 birds that would eat out of that. Okay? It used to be 4. Well, it used to be 2. Now it is 1. Okay? And lastly, the fox, there would just be 1 fox available. Did you notice how all the numbers decreased? Okay? They decreased because of the type of food. And what is that called? There's a special name for this where it changed. Okay? It's a special name, and the reason why they didn't become extinct. Okay? There's a certain reason why this didn't change too much. There's a reason for it. There's a special name. So, here is the next question. What is the biological name for the earth controlling the numbers in a population? Cool. There's the next one. Have I got any answers on the question that I asked? Why would they not become extinct? Why would the ladybird and the blackbird not become extinct? Any answers? I'll wait.
We've got one from...
We've got one. Let's hear.
A response from James, though.
James who?
Natural selection.
Natural selection. Now that... natural selection means nature selects who's going to live or die. Which also means that the strongest is going to survive. Okay? That's cool. But... I want to know, why do you think those animals won't become extinct? Should I give the answers?
Yes, please.
And why are you smiling so beautifully?
No.
So good
See,
to
I'm
see you
enjoying the lesson.
Good. Now, what actually happens, okay, is this bird, this brother up here, this one, this blackbird, okay, he doesn't just eat ladybirds, does he? No, right? He swoops down, he sees a ladybird, he takes it, eats it, and then he carries on flying. There's a dragonfly. Hey, that's juicy. Off we go to the dragonfly, and we eat the dragonfly, and he carries on flying. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So that is not his complete meal. Okay? This ladybird isn't just its meal. It's what eats the ladybird, yes, but the ladybird gets also eaten by a crow. Well, not really, but I'm just giving a bird's name, right? Or the lilac-crested roller or something like that. So all different birds eat it. And this thing is not going to become extinct because it can eat other food. Okay? Same as the ladybird. It will find other flies or other things to eat. So it won't become extinct. It will change its diet to fit in. You understand where I'm coming from? Hopefully you got it. Okay, now, if I go to the next questions, right? Hopefully I answered all those questions for you. Okay. There are 3 soil types in the next question, okay? So they're going to ask you about soil samples. And they've taken it from different regions where analysts, they had a look at it and they analyzed it and they had a look and they did certain tests to it. And they want to find, they've given you the results, but they don't want to label it. See, what happened is, I want to do this test and I collected different soils and I put little labels on them because I'm a good boy. Right? And I walked into the lab and I put it down there, and Looney came to visit me for a cup of coffee. Right? And what she did was she walked in and she turned to see my beauty. Right? Hey, Looney,
Okay.
And she turned and she hit all the specimen and they fell on different sides, so they didn't mix. Now I don't know which is which. So now we need to find out, we need to do certain experiments to get the answers. Okay, so let's have a look at it. Air content, okay? The air content for A is 30, B is 10, and C is 16. Then they had a look at the permeability of water in milliliters of water passing through 100 grams of soil per minute. In other words, they've given you how much water, how much grams of soil, and how long. Okay? And they worked it out to 20, 5, and 70. Permeability is how much water can go through it. Okay? Next one, humus. Not human, humus. In other words, like, come, help me out here. Give me something that's humus. I know I'm going to put on my grass to make it grow nice.
Fertilizer.
No, almost. Compost.
Okay.
So it's like food, things like that inside the plant. Right, yes, Luna, I'm going to miss you, my dear. Right,
Oh my gosh.
let's have a look at it. According to the results above, right, according to the results, which of the soil sample is A, B, C? Would be, so in other words, they want to know which is which. So let's have a look at it. Loam, clay, and sandy. Now, firstly, if I have a look at it, if I wanted to put a plant, right? If I wanted to have a plant, I've got to put it in loamy soil, right? Clay holds water. Sandy soil, you got no chance. You with me? So I'm gonna put it in this way. Okay, what I'm gonna do is you go for a break. Okay, think about it. When you get back, we're going to chat about it. Lumi.
Yes. Mindset is we are going to take a break. Just a quick reminder, guys, of what we're giving away. There's Galaxy Note 8s, there's 10.1 tabs from Samsung, there's Tab 3s. So make sure, guys, if you want to win yourself one of those Samsung devices, you enter the competition on www.mindset.co.za/learn/win. That is the entry form, but you do need to download the show notes first to get your race number. So with all that said, let's take a quick break and we'll see you straight after this. Welcome back, Mindsetters, from that break. I hope you guys are enjoying the lesson just like I am. And Llewellyn is dancing, but you can't see him. Okay. So Llewellyn asked earlier, what would happen if you added the worm to the food chain? And then up here where Morgan Makatini, our awesome up here says, if the worm is added, the amount of roses available for the herbivores will decrease and it will have a ripple effect on the rest of the food chain.
That is gorgeous
High five.
answer. That is even a better answer than what I gave you.
Yes,
Perfect.
well done,
I
well
was just
done.
explaining it though. Now,
'Kay.
Looney
Yes.
has got some more answers for you.
Yes, yes.
Right? And I'm sure the kids also showed you, am I right?
Yes, yes.
So
We've
why
got
don't you
here.
come over here and give us the answers and show us how you use this board?
Okay.
Your finger, the pen doesn't work.
My finger, okay. This is with the help of Nkensani, and up here we're doing it like a team, guys. We are. And Belinda, shout out to you, Belinda. Thanks, hi. So the question was, according to the results above, which soil sample, A, B, or C, would be as follows? So we reckon that loam is A, and let's check.
I'm impressed.
Yes. Then B, we said clay is B as well. You see? It's
Because clay's got that solid and fine things. It's not going to
Yes.
let water through very easily. I'm impressed.
yes, yes. And then we said sand is C.
That's it. For the sea, you know, like at Clifton Beach and sea.
Okay, anyways.
Well, so much for enjoying that part of things. Right. So we had a look at all of this. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump. Okay, I'm strong. I'm solid. I'm going to jump to things that I really want Looney to understand and learn. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this button here. Okay. And the next question is cool. The next question also comes from the exemplar, and it says here, study the two fossil, or diagram A and B, right? Okay, and it says they were discovered and classified as transitional fossils. Oh, big word, transitional. You know what that means?
Transitional.
I'm glad you know. I haven't got a clue. Wow, transitional. What? Yo. Okay, let's have a look at these beautiful things. Here we go. Look at that. Looks like Batman that was flattened against the wall. Look at that. Hey, what do you think?
Yeah.
Huh? Giving it the... That's what it is.
Giving it a what?
Flat against the wall. Flat is stuck wood. Right, so we have that. And then we have this creature. Look at that. That looks like a snake. With incisors and canines and things. Now, that's quite cool, eh? Let's have a good look again. Up. Flying thing that fell on the wall. And some strange skull. Right?
Yeah.
There we go. Now, first question. First question. What is what is the scientific name of the prehistoric bird in diagram A? In other words, the one that I say Batman flew into a wall, that one, right? What is its name? Have a good look.
Okay. I've got a response from
Diagram A.
Belinda.
Look at that. How beautiful is that animal?
I've got a response from Belinda.
Let's hear. Let's hear.
A pterodactyl.
It's a pterodactyl. Wrong.
Wrong.
Nice try.
Oh.
But, okay, remember I said to you, biological terms. Remember? Okay, now, that is right, but that is not a biological name. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to give you the name. But because the answer was not a biological term,
It's not correct.
I'm going to ask Looney to tell me what it is. So, Looney, are you ready, sweetie pie?
Okay.
Yes?
Okay, yeah, you want a clue? What? Okay, that's what you asked about. Wow. Okay, wow. Okay.
You see, life science is difficult. With these big words, they're like, ugh.
Okay, yo. Trix?
Archaeopteryx.
Archaeopteryx. Is that how you pronounce it?
Archaeopteryx.
Archaeopteryx. You see?
Is
Even
there?
you. Yes.
Now, if you want to say it like some people, it's Archaeopteryx.
Archaeopteryx.
There we go. It's a nice big word. Right, now, you happy with it? That is your word for the day, Looney.
No. it's fine.
Archaeopteryx. Very nice. Let's have a look at one. Explain why scientists, these brothers, right? Something that I would have loved to be a scientist, but for the life science part, right? Scientists, they concluded that this prehistoric bird was a transitional fossil. Now, I suppose I cannot be. Well, let me move it down so you can see the question again. I suppose I have to understand that word if I'm going to explain it to you.
Yo, Apiwe got it right. The
Who?
that one. Apiwe.
You are.
Well, high five.
Yeah.
And Kensani, you see today I'm working with the two
Jeez.
people.
You're going to make her look clever.
So
Please.
awesome, you guys are great.
It was very good. I'm impressed. Now, scientists concluded that this thing was a transitional fossil. Now, transitional. Let's see. Transitional. It means that it's between this stage and this stage. So, it's between these type of creatures and these type of creatures. What makes them, or what tells you that this one goes to become this one, that's a transitional fossil. Right. So they want to know why, or what makes it look like that. So this thing up here, okay, I'm going to show you that. That thing there was very cool. It was a flying animal, right? As you can see by the Batman wings, I reckon. Okay, this thing had teeth. Okay, because if I have a look at that, there's diagram A. It had teeth. Okay, so it looked like a dinosaur. Okay, it also had 4 claws on the end of its wings. Okay, so 4 claws on the end of its wings to grab things with, right? And that's part of the parts that it makes it look like a dinosaur. It had a lot of features that made it look like a dinosaur. But on the other hand, this thing had feathers. Okay, so it had feathers, it had 3 toes pointing forward on its leg and 1 on the back to make it look like a bird. So it had features of the bird, it had features of the dinosaur. So they say that this thing came between dinosaurs and birds, so it was a dinosaur changing into a birdish-like creature and then into a bird. That's why it was called the transitional fossil. Okay, so let's have a look at what the answer is. Okay, so first thing, this had a skull with teeth. Well, teeth. With teeth. It had a skull with teeth. Its jaw was more similar to dinosaurs. Simple, plain and easy. Next thing, okay, it had 3 claws on the end of its bone of each wings, more similar to dinosaurs. Okay, I'm going to tell you something just now, which is quite cool. Okay, and then if I have a look on the other side, when it comes to birds, we've got, it has feathers, more similar to birds. Okay, cool. It has 3 forward-pointing toes and 1 backward-pointing toe, more similar to birds. Okay, so that's what they said. Now, this little claw thingy that they're talking about. Now, what has that got to do? And how do we know that it's become a bird? What do you know? Just some information from you. Okay? There is a bird, to this day now, still living, where it lives above water. And if it falls in the water, the crocs are there to eat it. Right? So these things have the claws still to this day. They fall out of the nest and they help themselves, they claw themselves back up the tree, back into the nest. How cool is that? So that the crocs can't get to them. So even those things are still living. Right? They might have changed to form more of a bird-like structure, but they've still got those claws. Okay, so we've got that one. Now, the next one. Describe how fossils, well, describe how this fossil, okay, describe how this fossil could have been formed. Now, I want you to have a good look at this. Okay? Have a good look at this. This fossil is not an indentation. It actually stands out. Okay, so it's got little bumps on it. So it literally, it's like a finger in the soil. It stands out. Now, how does this actually get made? Okay, now, this is how I see it. It's very simple. These animals have got to die, right? So they fall on the ground, okay? Something covers them, okay? Something covers them. And what happens is all their meat and their fleshy and their soft, like, gushy stuff, right? All of that rot. And we're left with the bones. Okay? And over years, what happens is those bones get filtered with chemicals and vitamins, well, not vitamins, minerals and all of that, and they replace the organic compound of that bone to make it look like a stone. Okay? Now, the problem is I did not give what, where, or what type of soil or stuff is going to cover it. That's very, very important because you can't just use any sort of substance. Right? It's got to be a specific one. And here it is. Okay? It is. First of all, it had to fall down in a floodplain. In other words, where water and that would have been. Okay? So it would be a floodplain. That is the area. Okay? Then it would be covered by sediment. Okay? And that goes over the organism, as I said. And what happens is the fleshy, lovely parts are going to rot. And that stuff that stays behind has got to be covered so that oxygen can't join in and decay it even further. Okay, so oxygen reduces the amount of oxygen flow, which is a very good thing. And then, right, the soft parts decay. I love decaying. It's so cool, right? You get rid of things out of nowhere. It's wow. Okay, and then over time, the minerals seep into the bones and replace the organic parts. Okay, that's cool. That is very cool. So that's a good answer. Next one. Name the organism illustrated by diagram B and state where it was found in South Africa. Looney,
Yeah.
let's see how good you are. I'm going to leave. Diagram B. Here we go. Here we go. All the way up. Diagram B. That thing. Okay, have a good look at it. I'm going to leave that to you to answer. Okay? And once you've answered it, because you're giving me these stunning answers, once you've answered it, Looney is going to come up here and tell me what. Hey, Halini?
Of course.
You let me know. So I'm going to skip that one. You ready? Okay? I'm not going to show it to you. It's right at the bottom, and I will not forget it. Just make sure that you give me the answer ASAP, or as quick as possible. Cool. Now, the next one I want to have a look at. This is a good question. I want you to get to this as quick as possible. Very important. Here we go. Study the table below showing the decay of carbon-14 over time, and then answer the questions that follow. Now, you cannot answer this question if you don't know what carbon-14 is. Okay, every living animal has got carbon in them. Now, when carbon-14 gives, it takes a certain amount of time to get rid of your carbon-14 molecules. So if we start off with a certain amount of carbon-14 molecules, so in other words 100, okay, and over a certain amount of time you lose a certain amount of carbon-14, and when they check it, they will say, okay, that is how much it is, this is how much carbon is lost, this is how much you've got left, so it's round about 16 million years ago, or 20 million years ago. Do you understand? Are you with me what carbon-14 is? It's how to check different types of dating. Right, now, here we go. Name two types of methods, there's a big word, two types of methods of using to determine the age of fossils. Well, we've got the first one, it's simple. We've got radiometric, which is the carbon-14, and then the last one, relative dating. Those are the two you've got to know. Very important. Okay, next question. Calculate the value of X, and calculate the value of Z. Hey, whoa, hold on. That's a bit difficult. Now, you need to understand where I'm coming from and understand very, very nicely. Okay, I'm going to have a look at this and I'm going to explain it to you. You've got to have a look at the tricks because that is tricky. So if I have a look at this, first of all, on the top line, you've got years from the present. Okay, so from present, in other words, that's now. That is so many, 5,730 million years ago, right? You with me? So that's how it works, and it goes on and on and on. Now watch this. Here, 100. Okay? Next one is 50. Right? There's 50. Then it's 25. Then it's 12.5. Then it's 6.25. Then it's Z. Then it's 1.56. And then it is 0.78. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, watch carefully. Have you noticed? What is half of 100? 50. What is half of 50? 25. What is half of 6.25? It would be Z. You need to work it out. Next one. For one carbon, look here, this is the amount of carbon. For one carbon to be released, to be left, right? To have one carbon, to go from from one carbon to 0, okay? It takes 5,730 years. Okay, now, I want to find this one out. To go from 6 carbons to 5 carbons, what do? You take this amount, you minus from 5, well, there's 1 left, right? There's 1 over here. To go from 1 to 0, it takes 5,730 years. So, the answers would be X, okay? It would be 28,650. So this one here will be 28,600 and, come on, it wasn't so difficult, my memory's gone, and 50, that's what that one would be, okay? Because I take that, I minus that, and that's the years I get. And then, let's see how many would be left, and Z would be 3.125. So, we're going to have 3.125. 3.125. What's half of that? 1.56. That's how it works. Okay? That's cool. Now, I'm rushing through this because I want to get you. Explain why it would not be possible. Try this one out. Looney.
Yes?
Explain why it would not be possible to date a fossil which exists 80 million years ago. Now, I don't know if it's up to you.
80 million years.
Okay, listen here. Not be possible to date a fossil, which is what exists 80 million years ago. Now, the problem I have with this is, first of all, dating something that old, right? It's going to be a rock. Where are you going to take it? To the pub? To McGinty's? Or where? Huh? We're going to take it to Spur or somewhere? Huh? What do you think? Go dating with this thing.
No.
My mother will not approve me going out with somebody that's 80 million years ago.
What are you talking about now?
Well, yeah. Possible
no,
dating.
Man.
A date a fossil. Take it out to a jaw.
No,
You're going to party, give it horns.
No. That's not what the question is.
But that is dating.
No. No, now you're confused.
Looney is stunning. Now listen here. Here we go. This is 40,110 million years ago. There is 0.78, right? 0.78% carbon remaining. Okay? That is only half of 80 million years. There will be no carbons left. We can't date it. So the furthest we can go is about, I'd say about 600,000 million years ago. So let's have a look. Okay, about 60 million years, there is no more left. Nothing. You can't get rid of it. It's gone. Once it's gone, it's gone. There's no more. Right. So before I carry on, I want to know the answer. Did you get an answer there?
I've got quite a few answers, actually.
See how good they are. It is. Come, Looney.
Yes, someone said that. Let me look for it.
Very nice.
That's
it was
big
found
words.
in the Kruger.
Nkensani actually
the Karoo,
said,
sorry.
Yeah.
And it was the?
Yes, that thing. It's the link between reptiles and mammals. Yes.
Phenoxidon.
Yes.
Very nice. I'm very impressed, guys. You know what? You cannot tell me that you guys haven't been studying. If that is the type of answers I'm getting,
no, so clever.
I'm the happiest man at the moment on this planet. Right? I can't ask for more. Means you guys have been working. I'm very, very, very impressed. Right, so, Looney, I think that these guys have done very, very well.
Yes.
Right? I need you to keep it up. I need you to go into an exam and relax. I don't want to do another question because there's no time.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm telling you now, go into an exam, breathe in, close your eyes, just relax. What you don't know by that morning, it's too late. Right?
Yeah.
So leave it. Don't go study in the morning. Okay? All yours, Looney, and I'll see you guys soon. Definitely.
Thank you so much, Llewellyn, for the lesson. Mindsetters, it's been awesome. Thank you for tuning in. Like Llewellyn said, if you don't know anything by the morning, don't go and cram stuff. You will forget all the information you have studied. Believe me, I know all about that. Don't cram, guys. Everything of your best for your exams. We love you very much. Remember, we're going the distance together. We're running this race together, and we want to see you guys get A's. Look at Llewellyn. Now he's...
Run.
I want to see you guys passing with A's, and we want you guys to have the best exams ever, because you watch us, because we learn extra. We learn extra all the way.
Learn Looney extra.
Yes, we love you guys so much. Goodbye.